Should you move to New York City? Are you ready to take the leap, or are you still thinking about whether it's the right thing to do? Should you move to New York City? Come along as we point out some of the important facts you should know before moving to the city. Let's start with the most obvious fact. New York City is known by many names, including a not-so-humble nickname, Center of the Universe. That gives you quite an idea about just how amazing it is to live here. So one of the reasons why so many people move to New York City is that it's truly a city that never sleeps. Big Apple is an explorer's dream, and very much so outside of Manhattan only. While it does, of course, offer endless tourist attractions, there's so much more to it. You're never far away from some sort of event, whether you're into nightlife, shopping, dining, exercising, art, or anything else. The city earned its reputation as a cultural capital, and you'll be hard-pressed to find a city that gives you more options for networking and socializing. The true melting pot gives you so many possibilities and so many different things to do that you may find yourself in constant fear of missing out. Another thing that makes New York City great could also help you figure out if you should move here, and that's diversity. It's worth mentioning how the diverse nature of the city lets you find your favorite vibe and explore various neighborhoods. Between the 5 NYC boroughs, you'll find plenty of different neighborhoods, so you'll most definitely be able to find one that suits your lifestyle. There are family-friendly neighborhoods, quiet and walkable, hip and vibrant, upscale and pricey. There are just so many options that mentioning them requires a whole new video. By the way, if there's any moving topic you'd like us to cover in future videos, make sure to leave a comment below. Is there a neighborhood, city, or state that you'd like to learn more about? Is there a specific destination or moving tips that interest you? If yes, leave us a comment, and we'll make sure to get to that topic in the future. Now, let's go back to all the things you should know before you decide whether to move to New York City or not. Speaking of neighborhoods, once you start exploring them, you'll learn just how unique this city is. Unlike any other, it challenges your expectations of what the city is, but you must give it time and start exploring if you want to discover its greatness. So, another thing you need to know before you decide if you should move to New York City is that you may or may not need a lot of time to fall in love with it. If that love isn't at the first sight, that's totally fine. But just keep in mind that it will happen eventually, and the moment is unique and different for anyone. It may hit you on New Year's Eve while walking in the snowy streets, or just on a random day in Central Park while having a picnic. Or hey, it may even hit you on a ferry while watching that Manhattan skyline from across the river. The thing is that you never know when you'll fall in love with New York City, so give it time before calling it quits. The next thing to look into when you're thinking about moving to New York City has to do with the cost of living. There's no way around it. Life in Big Apple is just expensive. What an understatement. If you want to live in the big city, you have to be ready to spend a big chunk of your salary on rent. The percentage usually gets higher as you get closer to Midtown, but it depends on your budget and what kind of place you manage to find, and if you're willing to have a roommate. Of course, you can always skip Manhattan and find more affordable neighborhoods, but even then you may be surprised by hefty price tags. So, when moving to New York City, you're definitely paying for living in the city and not for the space whatsoever. While this is certainly one of the cons of living here, many people find that it's worth it. After all, you're paying for a place in the greatest city in the world, so consider your priorities when thinking about the cost of living. When it comes to housing, most households are rent-burdened, and buying a home is out of reach for most residents. This is one of the most important things to consider before moving, just in case you're dreaming about your own home with a backyard. To give you a better idea of just how expensive it is to be a homeowner, let's take a quick look at how much buying a home will set you back. The median home price in New York City is $654,300, compared to the national average of $291,700. Ouch! Before we jump to the next important thing of NYC life, let's take a moment to mention that you'll also need a reliable moving company to help you with your relocation. Being such an important step in your life, you'll want your fresh start to go as smoothly as possible, and licensed movers are the way to go. At Dumbo Moving and Storage, we offer affordable rates and great customer service for your residential or commercial moves. Whether you're moving from another state or another city, we've got you. If you'd like to know more about our services or get a free moving quote, then give us a shout. We'll leave our details in the description box below. Okay, so let's continue with the pros and cons of living in New York City and help you decide if you should move to the city that never sleeps. The next thing you should be prepared for when thinking about moving to New York City is walking. Know that you'll do plenty of walking and make sure to invest in good walking shoes. If you're into high heels, you'll quickly learn that you need to carry another comfy pair in your bag at all times. For most New Yorkers, it's just normal to walk a couple of miles or even more on a daily basis, and it will quickly become a part of your daily routine as well. If your main reason for moving is a job search, you're likely to feel good about your decision to move to New York, as Big Apple is seen as a city of opportunity. Many people choose to build their careers right here. As the saying goes, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. It may sound corny, but it is indeed true. Career-wise, you'll find the biggest names in marketing, journalism, tech, sports, or any other industry, and New York City is home to dozens of Fortune 500 companies. Job opportunities in the city are really hard to beat, so moving here might be just what you should do. However, keep in mind that competition is fierce, so you may end up becoming a workaholic while living in New York City, and whatever you plan to do, secure a job before moving. So, we've listed several things that could help you understand the life in Big Apple better and decide if you should move to New York City. But there are so many more amazing and not so amazing things about this incredible city. Consider them all before making a final decision and figuring out if you're ready to take the leap. If you enjoyed this video, you can make sure not to miss out by subscribing to our channel. We'll have more helpful moving-related topics, and you can also click that notification bell if you want to be the first to know when a new video is uploaded. Thanks for watching our channel, and we hope to see you in the next video.